Hey guys, tonight's show is about substance abuse and relationships. I'll tell you a little bit about my story, about my personal things about substance abuse and relationships later on in the show. I hope you join in. Look, I got my hair back. Most of y'all know me for being a blonde, so yes, I got my hair back. And I feel so much better. So if you have a question, please feel free to inbox me so that I can hopefully answer it on the air. I don't, unless you feel comfortable with putting it in the stream. Sometimes, though, I can't see the stream to let you all know. So, it's easier if you inbox me so I can see it. I try to get to all your questions, but I don't want to miss anything. I hope this, if you know somebody who is going through this, please forward and share this information with them. It's very important. So let them know. I am so excited about this show because this is something that touches my heart dearly. So just to let you know, oh my gosh, if you all saw the person that just joined, I am like so excited because he is like so well known. Hi, Mr. Garrett. I am so excited about this. So please, if you are, hey, Carissa. Oh my gosh, it feels so funny to see people call me Dr. Parks. But I will be Dr. Parks officially in a couple of months. So I'm so excited about that. So, but I'm still the same fan, as you see, the same blonde hair, the same everything. So, but, like I said, substance abuse and relationships is something that is very, very, very detrimental to people. And again, if you know, hi, David, if you know anybody that is dealing with substance abuse and any kind of relationships, I'm going to try to make it broad, not necessarily an intimate relationship like a significant other, but how it affects everybody in general. So I am about to go on. So I will talk to you. And good evening. And good evening. I hope you are. This is Let's Learn Love. I am your host, Cassandra Parks, and this is WIGO Radio, 1570 AM radio. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you had a blessed week since you last seen me and talked to me. And I am ecstatic because today is National Tequila Day. And if you know anything about me or any person who's been around me, they know that I am like really a tequila girl. So happy Tequila Day. And so I am just ecstatic about that. Let's learn love. Let's talk about Let's Learn Love. It is your vehicle to better relationships. Again, I am Cassandra Parks, and I am so honored and humbled that you are following me and listening to me and everything. I just have a couple of shout outs. So I try to do a couple of shout outs a day each time I'm on the radio. I want to shout out to my girl Veronica. I want to shout out to my bestie Leah and oh my gosh, it's so many people. Elaine and Trish and just a whole bunch of people. And I just love you for your support and I thank you so much. And all my people on Facebook, I am really honored that you tune in as well. Kim and Cassandra and David and Shanique and Ruby and I'm just and Lawrence. I'm just really honored and thankful that you follow me and listen to me, and I can't express that enough. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I am a certified relationship dating and intimacy coach. I am also a hypnotist that is certified. I have been doing this since 2008. I'm a member of the IOC, which is the Institute of Coaches, which is an affiliate of Harvard University. I am also a member of the American College of Sexologists, and I am an American Sexual Health Association ambassador. So I am very honored and again thankful that you are taking your time to listen to me today. Follow me on social media. I need to get my social media up. So share this, like this, and come in. My social media page is Let's Learn Love, of course. My IG is Let's Learn Love. My personal one is Cassandra M. Parks. A lot of people tend to follow me on that as well. And my Twitter is Let's Learn Love, the number 1. And again, if you want to follow me personally, Cassandra M. Parks on everything, and you should be able to find me. Just a couple of things that I do. I tell you this every week. I do help you with online dating profiles and rules, how and where to meet people, personalities to avoid, simple conversation starters, fun date ideas, dating rules. I also do seminars, workshops on relationships, dating, and intimacy, and I do private coaching sessions. I also am speaking at events, which I will give you a rundown of some of the events that I will be speaking on currently. But if you would like to contact me or just check out and be nosy and see what I'm doing, follow my webpage at www.letslearnlove.com. I have an office in Fayetteville, Georgia, so you can contact me if you would like to come to my office. And my contact number is 678-400-9673. But you can always email me as well, letslearnlove@outlook.com. So again, our show tonight is about substance abuse and relationships. So stay tuned for that. And I just want to go over a couple of announcements that I have. I always say this, and this is one that's very dear to my heart, is Radio's in the City. And you can catch me there. I will be the closest one that I will be to for the date is Augusta, and Augusta is September 23rd, 1917. Good Lord, 2017. So I will be in Augusta, Georgia, September 23rd, and after that it will be West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale. We're making a stop here in Atlanta, Greenville, South Carolina, Charlotte, the DMV area, and Norfolk. And in October, I am so excited about this too. I will be doing a workshop out in the DMV area as well. And I am so looking forward to doing that with my sister Tiffany. And if she's watching, I love you. So yes, I am so excited about that workshop, because that workshop is all about, couples and massage and techniques and tantric. Well, I can't go into all that right now, but if you follow me, you'll get all the specifics on that. So let's dive into our subject tonight, which is substance abuse and relationships. Now, this is actually how I got my start into doing coaching. And once I got my coaching, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with it. And a lot of you do not know this, but my mother is a psychologist as well. She is a doctor. And shout out to my mom, Dr. Yvonne Parks. So I'm following her footsteps, so to say. But she is a doctor, and she is a substance abuse doctor. And she wanted me to work in her business with her and in her practice. But being that I was not a certified psychologist yet, we figured out a way that I could do it. So I went into coaching and got certified in the coaching. So with that, what I did was, once the people got healed from their substance of choice, they had a lot of broken families and a lot of things that were very broken within them. They had no life path and things like that. So what I actually ended up doing was, I was a coach for them to heal those relationships and mend those the things that they had going on that they needed help with. So with that being the main trigger of me starting and learning about relationships and things of that, I ended up really getting involved with this. So this is a subject that is dear to my heart. I also am a product of a relationship that was a substance abuse relationship because my father was a functioning alcoholic. And a lot of people did not know that because he ended up, with the grace of God, stopped drinking. And he became very, very, very on a path that he did not want to take anymore after he saw how alcohol did to his family. So and most of you know I'm very close to my dad, and I'm so proud of him for having to change that. So this subject has a lot to do with me and my personal feelings. So let's dive into it a little and figure out some things that are going on. Hold on, I got a quick question. It says, how can you help your child to be able to see the signs of substance abuse while dating in college? And if they see signs, how can you encourage them to seek help for their partner? That is an excellent question, and I'm gonna hold on to that after we do a little break of just some little basic information about drugs and alcohol and things of that sort. So let's talk about, first of all, let's go with the elements of a good relationship. And there's many discussions around addiction tend to focus on the physical and the psychological aspects of substance use. And the effects of drug addiction, however, expand beyond these issues and further encompass one's social health and well-being. So social health refers to one's relationship and the ability to maintain a healthy, rewarding, and rewarding connections. Social health and health support system kind of correlate together to make an individual self-esteem, happiness, and success in life. So unfortunately, substance abuse and addiction can damage social health. And there are different types of relationships. There's family relationships, friendships, and romantic relationships can be put under a tremendous strain of anyone who is addicted. So let's just do a brief thing of the elements of a successful relationship. Even though the presence of addiction, relationships are complex issues that take work to maintain. So a successful relationship, there should always use honest and assertive communication based on respect. They are fun and rewarding. The goal of compromise, trust, and understanding. There's an absence of physical, emotional, or sexual abuse, violence, or aggression. They can thrive at times of individuality and times of togetherness, and they allow all members to feel good about themselves. So when we talk about healthy relationships, we have to remember those are some of the key things that go on with a healthy relationship. Now, the damage associated with an addiction. Now, again, an addiction of a substance can be drugs, it can be alcohol. So any of these come into play. When addiction enters the mix, many elements that take a successful relationship become more of an effort to maintain. Once a substance abuser progresses from occasional use to an addiction, they are likely to have a single focus, obtaining and using the substance. So since relationships often can't compete with the euphoric experience of substance use, the user is typically putting less time and energy into maintaining a relationship, allowing various damaging elements to begin to surface. One of those is secrecy. Sometimes when people use alcohol or other drugs in excess, they may not be outwardly open about their use to feel strong feelings of shame, guilt, and fear of judgment because of it. They often think about others will not understand or accept them for their situations, which breeds a tendency to be secretive with their loved ones. They may lie about where they are, who they're with, the events of the day, how they are behaving differently, and why there's money missing. So at times, secrecy will increase to the point to complete distance or isolation from them. So, and it can put in a tremendous strain on any relationship. So, another thing will be trust issues. With increased lying and deception associated with the secrecy, it's only a matter of time until a significant other begins to notice small differences between facts and fiction. The loved ones that you begin to develop trust issues due to the lack of respect, honesty, and loyalty. Trust is essential. I always tell you this every week. Trust is essential to feelings of safety and care in a relationship. If you do not have trust in a relationship, you do not have anything. So the reduction of trust can often lead to the emergence of a number of relationship damaging issues such as jealousy, fear, and resentment. Something else that can come about is anger and abuse. Anger and violence can occur in a relationship as it deteriorates. So frustrations can be high. People are sometimes using the substance that are known to be very aggressive. So during the situation becomes more dangerous as the relationship goes on under substance abuse. Drugs are also known to increase anger, irritability, and violence. So these can all include alcohol, cocaine, MDMA, crystal meth, Ritalin, steroids. Let's see what else. So, a number of other things, but those are just some of the things that I can think of off the top of my head. Living with an addict or an alcoholic can put a loved one at great risk of victimization. Additionally, the loved one living with an alcoholic or an addict will have an increase of their own frustration, causing them to express anger or act out violently against the substance user. So it's like a cycle, so to say. They may have aggression. You have aggression because they're using it and you don't trust them and they're abusive. So it's a never-ending cycle. So it's a feeding type of thing. So if you're now, this is very important. If you are in a situation like this and you experience domestic violence in your relationship, please always seek help. We had an earlier show about domestic violence. So if you are in a domestic violence situation, please get help. That is very important. Enabling. This is going to be the last one before I take my break. Enabling. Enabling is anger. Anger is not the only way substance abuse can impact a user at all times. To help a addict, that's your loved one. So you usually transfer into being an enabler. And an enabler includes taking responsibility for the behaviors and the feelings of the addicted loved one, working to minimize their negative consequences, always accepting blame or making excuses for them. A classic example of enabling is providing money on a consistent basis so that the user is able to retrieve drugs or alcohol. He or she may ask for money for groceries or gas, and while their loved one may suspect that they're doing drugs or alcohol, they provide it anyway. The line between helping and enabling is a very difficult one for those who love someone who is struggling with addiction to discern. So I'm going to end it there for a break. Again, this is Let's Learn Love. I am your host, Cassandra Parks, and we will take a short break after this. Woo. Thank you. We are taking our music break. I don't know if you can hear it. Let's see. I don't think y'all can hear it. Heck, I can barely hear it. But they're playing the Commodore, so I'm silly. But please share this. Like I said, if you know anybody who is going through this, it could be a difficult situation. Again, I lived with it for years. A lot of people don't know that with my dad. And this is a subject that is sensitive to my heart. So if you know anything or anything about it, let me know. One of the questions, let me see if I can get some of the questions off of here. Hey guys, I'm glad all y'all joined. I am very, very, very happy and thankful that you did. Again, how can you help a child in college? And what are the signs? Hopefully, I gave you some of the signs and encourage them to seek help for their partner. One thing that you do need to know about this is that unless the person themselves wants to get clean, it's hard to show them anything. This is my personal opinion, when it comes to drug or alcohol, they're not going to be ready until they hit rock bottom. That's point blank. It's going to have to be something that's either within them that they want to change, or that they're going to have to hit rock bottom to want them to change. So you can suggest different things. You can offer your support as far as that. Don't enable them, but it's going to be very difficult for them to change if they don't want to change. I am a Christian, so I will say pray. Ask for strength, for your own strength, first of all, because it takes a lot out of you. It's been many a days that I cried because I didn't want to be at home because I knew my parents were going to fight, or anything of the sort. So pray for your strength, pray for their strength, in a hedge of protection around them, because a lot of times they're out in different places and they don't care about themselves enough to understand that they need to get themselves together. Zooming by the Commodores. I am. And we're back. You are listening to Let's Learn Love. I am your host, Cassandra Parks, and that was the Commodores Zooming. So that's one of my favorite songs by them, by the way. But we were talking about substance abuse and relationships, and some of the things that we talked about were what are the signs of an enabler, and what happens to a relationship once it happens. Enabling, trust can be an issue, and secrecy. So some of the other things that can go on is codependency. Now, codependency shares some traits with enabling. We must understand that. So according to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, codependent people control others because they do not think that the other person can function independently. They usually have low self-esteem and overly focus on their loved one. They are also willing to compromise with their own needs, wants, and beliefs to keep their loved one calm and content. They also are very cautious and aware of the emotional changes of others, and they maintain loyalty and commitment to their loved ones despite the lack of reciprocity. So that is some of the things about codependent. Codependent individuals often get involved in relationships that are one-sided. So someone who is codependent may be frustrated by the needs and the actions of their addicted loved ones, but may also feel a compulsive need to take care of that person. The codependent needs the addict as much as the addict needs the codependent. So their identity may become wrapped up in the martyr role, or feeling compelled to serve or sacrifice for their partner, yet simultaneously acting to fulfill their own needs for attachment and closeness. So codependent relationships typically involve their share of enabling. As a caretaker figures, as the caretaker figure will try to cover up for the addictive individual or resolve their issues instead of allowing them to face the natural consequences of their substance use. So now that we got all those, what do we do to kind of repair the damage? So repairing the relationship is three basic things. And one of those is you have to end the current dysfunctional habits. That is first and foremost that we do anything. We have to end the dysfunctional habits. And we also need to acknowledge the damage of the past and develop strategies to better deal with these issues in the future. And we also need to reinvest time toward a healthy and successful relationship. And as I was stating earlier, that was my job once that we did that. after they ended the current dysfunctional habits, it was up to me to help them acknowledge the damage that they did in the past. Because if you do not acknowledge that, a lot of people will not accept your apology. And that's what I found. You have to come clean with everything. It's going to hurt you, it's going to hurt them. But in order for you to start building trust and to develop a strategy to deal with everything and to get your loved ones back on track, you're going to have to admit to everything that you have done. So with that being said, um, make sure that you reinvest your time and your energy towards a healthy, successful relationship after you do that. Now, there are some treatment options. Again, I am not a certified counselor when it comes to substance abuse. I am only offering suggestions. So the best thing that I can do is go to your find out your I'm sorry, find a counselor that is able to help you further. But there's individual therapy for the addicted individual. Ending substance abuse is a first key element into repairing the relationship. It will be very difficult to begin or maintain a functional relationship during the period of the addiction time. So addiction counseling and psychotherapy individual to gain individual therapy for the significant other. Now, this is the non-addicted person. This is the enabler or the person that you know the cohabit and gaining of the substance abuse and the addiction is important for you. Also, understanding your role in the relationship and their role in the relationship and their struggles and their patterns. Um, Also, addressing their own mental health is important. Your self-care needs are related and unrelated to the addiction. So that's what you need to realize when the significant other goes to therapy. Now, for family counseling, for the couples, for both of them, family counsel family counseling can be very effective for both partners. It can simultaneously learn, teach you and practice skills that promote a more desirable relationship by learning healthier ways to interact with each other. Because you are extremely damaged, so you need to learn how to um, re-love each other again, because a lot of times too love is lost during addiction. So you need to learn how to reenact all the things that happened before the substance abuse. You also need to go to support groups and meeting for both individuals, because this gives you an idea of how others deal with it and how you're dealing with it versus how someone else dealt with it. Because you may not know everything. You may need to go and get tips and have other people's uh, information, so you can have somebody to call on if you have a question or something like that. So people in relationships are often able to function well together and apart. Support groups are a good way to spend time apart while still being in an empathetic environment. So a lot of those are Alcohol Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Smart Recovery are also very good options to do this. And for the loved one, there's Dependents Anonymous, Families Anonymous, and several other ones that are available as well. Regardless of the form of treatment, there are several relevant themes that are crucial to the future of the relationship. One is communication. Certain care must be engaged in producing communication that shows a level of respect. The communication should be encouraging, it should be clear, and it should be concise. A reciprocal exchange of thoughts and feelings is the goal here. And active listening with a good eye contact in a calm, distraction free environment will increase the productivity of the conversation. So get somewhere quiet, go somewhere, make sure that you pay attention. Both people need to make sure that they are listening, because it is important that you try to heal your relationship at this point. And another thing I can say is limit setting. Unhealthy relationships frequently involve poor or absent limit setting. Limit setting includes a clear description of expectations paired with consequences of certain actions. So, equally important is the follow through, though, and consistency. If a loved one tells you that their continued substance abuse is unacceptable, but continues to tolerate the actions, then the limit is negated, basically. Limit requirements, consequences need to be effective. So, with that being said, if you say that you're going to do something, do it on both sides. Make sure that you're a person of your word. Now, some things I will say are going to be irreparable when it comes to a relationship. Some people are just going to find it too challenging to modify their behaviors and outline an individual with them anymore. Now, some of these things, if the decision is made to end the relationship, consider these tips to move forward in the safest, most effective way. One is to make a plan to ensure safety. This would be if domestic violence is a factor. Don't be afraid to reach out for your support system, your network, or any form of support or safety. If you do not have that, if you're like somewhere by yourself, then go to a local police station or call the domestic violence hotline. Make sure that your plans for moving on with people you trust and support. Again, make sure that you have a good, solid plan, because if you're going to move out on your own and be done with the relationship, have a plan. Seek continual social support during and after the breakup. This is a rough time for everybody, so you're going to need support. Also, be clear and concise and consistent with your communication. That means letting people know once you leave the relationship what is going on, so that they know that you're okay. Because what usually happens is people usually tend to break down and shut down, and people need to know that you're all right during this. And the final thing I will say is be wary of promises for change and forms of manipulation. This goes for the person as the user. Remember to look out for yourself first, and what you do will benefit you most in the long run. So, I got through all that. So, I am very pleased and happy to have brought you that today. Again, our topic was substance abuse and relationships. We are at the end of our 30 minutes, and I am so happy that you took your time. Please call in or listen in next week, and I am that was a lot. I had to get all that out. But it's an important subject, and I hope that I help some people. A lot of people do not realize that they are going through a substance abuse relationship. So I hope that I gave you some tips. I hope that if you have any more questions, again, I am not a certified substance abuse counselor, but I can point you to some people that can help you. But if you have any questions, feel free to contact me via Facebook. Again, my contact information, letslearnlove.com, or Let's Learn Love on Facebook and Instagram. Let's Learn Love, the number 1 on Twitter. And if you have any questions or need any help with anything, please contact me. If you know somebody, again, who is dealing with substance abuse and needs help, refer this to them, and I will refer them to somebody or help them the best that I can. So that's the end of my show. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for sharing. Again, if you have anything to say if you have anything that you want to talk about as far as a future topic, let me know. And with that, I will say good night, and I will talk to you later. Bye.